Picture this. You're 9 years old, staring at a lemon cake you despise, at a birthday party that's somehow not yours, while your older sister hogs the spotlight and your parents clap like she invented gravity. That was my reality for 25 years. I, Mia Carter, was the ghost in my own family, eclipsed by Lauren, the golden child who could trip over her own feet and get a standing ovation. But hold your breath, because I flipped their sick favoritism into a revenge so savage it'd make a lion whimper, and I unleashed it right on her precious stage. This isn't just a tale, it's a furious, gut-busting war cry, and I'm here to shove it down their throats. Let's rewind to the crime scene of my childhood, shall we? Picture this. 2 girls in a cramped, soul-sucking house in Ohio. Lauren, 3 years older, was the princess with perfect curls and a smile my parents swore could cure cancer. Me, I was the scrappy afterthought, the oops baby they didn't plan for and never let me forget. From the moment Lauren twirled into existence, she owned the place. If she wanted mac and cheese for dinner, we ate mac and cheese, even if I begged for spaghetti until my throat bled. My science fair medals? Tossed in a drawer like junk mail. Her half-assed dance recital certificates? Hung on the wall like they were Nobel Prizes. I'd bring home a report card full of A's, and Mom would sigh, "Well, Lauren's busy being extraordinary," while Dad nodded like she'd just recited the Constitution. Extraordinary? The girl once burned toast and blamed me for distracting her. I was 6. The favoritism wasn't subtle. It was a neon sign flashing Lauren rules, Mia drools. Birthdays? Mine were a footnote. Hers were a national holiday. I'd get a stale cake in her favorite flavor, lemon, which I despise, and a lecture about how we can't afford 2 big parties. Meanwhile, Lauren's bash had a bouncy house, a DJ, and a cake so tall it could have doubled as a wedding prop. One year, I saved up my allowance to buy myself a little gift, a cheap necklace, because I knew they wouldn't bother. Lauren saw it, whined that it was prettier than hers, and guess who ended up wearing it? Not me. My parents cooed. "Oh, Mia, don't be selfish." Selfish? I was eating crumbs while she hogged the whole damn bakery. As we hit our teens, it got uglier. Lauren's charm wore thin at school. Turns out, being a spoiled brat doesn't win you friends. She'd strut around like she owned the halls, but by sophomore year, her clique had ditched her. Did she reflect? Nope. She turned her venom on me. I was the opposite, quiet, decent grades, a solid group of pals. She hated it. Suddenly, I wasn't just her punching bag. I was her target. She'd accuse me of stealing her clothes, I didn't fit her size, spreading rumors, I didn't care enough, or ruining her life, by existing apparently. My parents ate it up. If I pointed out her lies, like the time she lost her phone, and I found it under her bed, they'd scold me for provoking her. Provoking her? Breathing in her vicinity was provocation enough. Fear crept in when she started sabotaging my friendships. She'd tell Mom and Dad my crew was trouble, and they'd ban me from hanging out, citing Lauren's wisdom. One time, my best friend Sarah came over, and Lauren caught her stealing a bracelet, planted of course. My parents believed Lauren, and Sarah was persona non grata. I'd lie awake, heart pounding, wondering how I'd survive this prison. But a lifeline emerged, my cousins. They lived nearby, and at a family barbecue, I spilled the truth, how Lauren's friendless misery meant I wasn't allowed any either. My blunt kid self didn't sugarcoat it. The adults overheard, and holy hell, they ripped my parents a new one. I got grounded for lying, but after that, they eased up on the isolation. Worth it. Lauren, humiliated, demanded a school switch. My parents, ever her minions, forked over cash for a private academy 20 miles away. She made new friends there, mean girls who'd come over and tease me, read, bully me into tears, while Mom and Dad chuckled about sibling fun. I stopped inviting people over. Lauren's accusations of theft scared them off anyway, but my cousins stuck by me. Family was my shield, and she couldn't touch that. Then came the boyfriend saga. At 16, I met Jake, sweet, goofy, not a saint but mine. I hid him from home as long as I could, but Mom insisted on meeting him. Big mistake. Lauren swooped in. All giggles and low-cut tops, flirting like a B-movie seductress. Jake, bless him, bolted to find me whispering, "Your sister's nuts." She spun it to my parents. Jake hit on her, and she nobly refused. Guess who they believed? Not me. They banned Jake, calling him a creep. I tried sneaking around, but the stress killed us. Next boyfriend, same story, Lauren's flirty lies, parental wrath, relationship DOA. I gave up dating, sticking to casual flings, earning a wild child rep I didn't deserve. Lauren. She brought home one guy, a sleazy dude my parents fawned over until he dumped her. Then he was trash, and I got a lecture on picking better men. Hypocrisy, thy name is Carter. College was the next battlefield. Lauren graduated high school with CS and a party girl attitude, landing at a bottom-tier university, fully funded by mom and dad. They threw her a send-off like she'd won a Pulitzer. Me, I graduated with honors, but when I asked about college, mom sat me down, eyes teary, and said, "We're tapped out from Lauren's tuition. You'll need to work and wait." Wait. For what? Lauren to flunk out. I'd seen this coming. Years of neglect taught me they'd never invest in me. So I'd studied like a maniac, snagging a full scholarship to a solid state school. I posted it online, thanking them sarcastically for pushing me to succeed. They couldn't stop me without looking like monsters to the family. Lauren seethed, but I was free. College was my salvation. I thrived, friends, grades, a life. Lauren dropped out, moved home, and got a cushy job at dad's office, no rent, no bills. They bragged about her independence, while I scraped by on scholarships and part-time gigs. I kept my distance, visiting only for holidays, dodging their drama. Then I met Ryan, my husband, my hero, my chaos-loving soulmate. He's the guy who'd punch a bully and laugh about it, while I'd cry and wish I'd said something clever. We clicked. He loved my scars, I loved his fire. We got engaged, planning a low-key wedding and a dream honeymoon in Japan. My parents demanded to meet Ryan, and I caved, dreading the inevitable. He went prepared, recorder in pocket, ready to catch Lauren's flirting and expose her. But what he got was worse. They sat him down, all serious, and said they'd pay for our wedding if Lauren got to star in it. Their plan? She'd host a surprise engagement party at our venue, right before my ceremony, in a full bridal gown with photos and a cake. Because it's unfair me as marrying first. Ryan's brain nearly short-circuited. He played along, saying he'd talk to Mia, and bolted, grinning like a madman. "Babe," he said, "we're gonna screw them so hard they'll feel it in their next life." Excitement surged through me, finally a chance to fight back. We brainstormed wild revenge plots, fake venues, hired actors, even a mock arrest. Ryan's saner sister talked us down to something legal but lethal. We'd pretend to agree, milk their money, and block Lauren at the door. Simple? No. Satisfying. Ryan returned to them, spinning a tale. Mia's a pushover, but she might flip if it's a surprise. Let's say you're funding stuff, so she'll feel too guilty to object. They bought it. Lauren literally danced with glee. For months, we played them like fiddles. They wanted input on everything: flowers, food, music. We'd pick cheap options. Ryan would accidentally show Lauren the good stuff, and she'd demand they upgrade. "Don't worry, Mia," they'd say. "We've got the fancy sushi." We'd smirk behind their backs. The dress was a snag. They picked a frumpy gown I hated. We planned to ditch it, but Mom texted about it, paper trail. Ryan improvised, telling them I'd come around, while Lauren suggested ruining my real dress. He nodded, keeping them off texts by claiming I was paranoid about cheating. They lapped it up, thinking they'd won. Meanwhile, we hired security, kept it hush-hush, and watched the budget balloon, all on their dime. Wedding day hit like a storm. Their plan: Lauren would swoop in pre-ceremony, posing as the engaged star. Then I'd follow, too stunned to protest. Ryan faked ruining my dress with scraps, rushing back to calm me. Guests arrived, security stayed low-key. A clipboard lady at first, then a hulking guard. Lauren rolled up in a knockoff gown and bam, denied. "Wrong bride," the guard said. She screamed. Dad threatened cops. My cousin Jen, our chaos ally, ran out yelling, "What the hell's she doing?" stalling them. Mom joined the fray, guests gawked, and it unraveled. I walked down the aisle, alone at first, heart racing. Dad's phone buzzed Lauren. He bailed, muttering emergency. Gasps erupted. Jen shouted, "He said it should have been Lauren." Our scripted lie. I teared up, real hurt, perfect timing. Ryan's dad stepped in, escorting me to my grinning groom. "Oscar-worthy," Ryan whispered. We tied the knot amid whispers and chaos. Outside, Lauren tantrumed, parents flailed, and family tore into them. Ryan played dumb. Me? Agree to that? Prove it. And they had nothing. No texts, just their word against his. They slunk away defeated. The reception? A riot doesn't even cover it. It was a full-on circus of excess, and every bite and sip was a middle finger to their bank account. Picture this. Tables groaning under the weight of top-shelf sake that flowed like a river. A towering cake so extravagant it could have doubled as a modern art sculpture. And guests gorging on sushi so fresh it practically swam onto their plates. All paid for by Mom, Dad, and their precious Lauren's whining. The DJ spun tracks they'd never have approved, think thumping bass, not their sappy ballads, and I danced with Ryan until my feet ached. Laughing as relatives whispered about the scene outside. Chaos. Sure. Victory? Oh, absolutely. Every clink of a glass was a toast to their defeat, and I savored it like a queen at her own coronation. They didn't let it go quietly, though. The second we slipped away to our hotel, the barrage began. My phone lit up with missed calls and texts so unhinged they'd make a soap opera blush. Lauren led the charge, firing off rants claiming Ryan lusted for her, that he'd whispered sweet nothings during those planning visits. Delusional much? She even swore he'd begged her to run away together, the night before the wedding. Pure fiction from a mind pickled in desperation. Mom chimed in with guilt trips. "How could you humiliate us like this, Mia?" While Dad's messages were all caps threats. "You'll regret this, we're done with you." Ryan, my glorious chaos king, snatched my phone, screenshot every deranged word, and compiled it into a digital hall of shame. We dumped it all into the family chat with a melodramatic plea. "Please, someone save us from their madness. They're trying to ruin our lives." Then we ghosted, phones off, middle fingers up. The cousins lit up the thread with WTFs. And are they serious? A glorious pile-on we didn't stick around to watch. Japan was perfection, a clean break from their stench. We wandered Tokyo's neon streets, gorged on ramen, and toasted under cherry blossoms, their money a distant memory fueling our bliss. No calls, no texts, just us in a honeymoon so flawless it felt like a movie montage. Back home, the family grapevine buzzed. Apparently, Lauren tried crashing a cousin's barbecue to explain herself, only to get escorted out by Uncle Pete. Sweet justice. Why'd they favor her? I've chewed on that bone for years. Lauren was their miracle, after a decade of infertility, prayed for, pampered, a trophy of their persistence. Me, I was the shock that followed too soon, the unplanned burden they couldn't afford and didn't want. They poured their dreams into her, leaving me the scraps of their resentment. Did they mean the wedding stunt? Ryan and I think it was a half-baked bluff. Lauren probably threw a tantrum about me tying the knot first, and they cooked up that absurd engagement party to shut her up, figuring we'd balk and they'd save face. But Ryan, my brilliant bastard, called their bet, played their game better, and bled them dry. They lost their cash, their dignity, and any shred of family cred, all because they underestimated me for the millionth time. Revenge? It's a dish best served with their own damn money, and I'm still licking the plate clean. Lauren's last text, a garbled mess about karma coming for me, sits unanswered. Ryan's framing it next to our wedding photo, a trophy of her meltdown. They can stew in their misery. I've got a life to live, and it's finally mine.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends. And if you'd love to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you never miss a new upload. See you in the next video.